Gentlemen, the key to a successful, happy, prosperous relationship is not necessarily doing things all the time or problem solving all the time. The key to a successful and happy relationship is being. Simply being there for your partner. Simply allowing yourself to be present for them and giving your time and yourself and your heart and your soul to your partner. What's going on, friends? Welcome to yet another episode of Purpose Over Pleasure podcast with your host, Alex Payne. And today, by popular demand, I will be talking about relationships. And I've noticed over the years that I get a lot of compliments about my episodes where I talk about relationships or my relationship or dating, or in particular when I have episodes where I talk when I have my wife as my guest. And those episodes get a lot of attention, and I had a lot of compliments about on those episodes. So today I'm going to talk about a very important topic, at least something that I consider important, something that my wife considers important. And we're going to talk about the secret to a successful and happy relationship. And I'm going to give you one very, very important tip or a secret or a key to a successful, happy relationship at the very end. That particular tip, that key, that factor itself, once my wife and I implemented it, our relationship changed for the better. So stay tuned. And before we jump into this episode, please click like, share, and subscribe to our channel because your input matters and we do this for you guys. Let's jump into this. What is a happy and a successful relationship? Some people might say, well, it's a relationship where two people love each other, where they seem or they look on the outside like they support each other, love each other, they're always happy, playful, etc., etc. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I personally know at least a few relationships where on the outside they look beautiful and loving and happy and all of that cute stuff, right? Especially on social media. But on the inside that family, inside their household, shit is pure chaos. And I don't know about you guys, but for me and my wife, and particularly for me, from the very beginning, I told her, listen, babe, for me, peace in my house, peace in my relationship matters the most. Because I would rather be at war with the world but at peace with myself than at peace with the world and at war with myself. I will never sacrifice my personal happiness for materialistic things or for social media type of things. And I'm not talking about the things, for example, where I'm being selfish, where like I would do things for myself and I'm like my family. No, what I'm talking about is my entire relationship with my household, my marriage, my family, to my wife and my child, my now child. I don't know if you guys know or not, but my baby girl was born a little over 3 weeks ago, and we're happy, we're blessed. Praise the Lord for that. But that matters for us. Having a peaceful and loving relationship in our household matters. So when my wife and I were talking about this episode that I was writing an outline for, I actually discussed this outline with her, and she agreed with me. We made this outline together. And the first thing that came to mind for both of us was this: allowing your partner to be themselves. Allow your partner to be themselves, because the last thing you want to do is have a relationship where either you or your partner feel like they can't be themselves, or both of you may feel like you cannot be themselves. For example, it happened to me. My last serious relationship with my last ex-girlfriend before I started dating my current wife, that relationship was toxic because my ex-girlfriend was super jealous and she had some leftover trauma from her previous relationships, and just in general, she had a lot of trauma, personal trauma that she wasn't willing to overcome and work on, and she was extremely jealous, and that relationship was very toxic. And around her, I couldn't be myself. And the reason I realized that is because over time, she wanted me to do certain things and sort of tame myself and not say certain things. I noticed that over time, that was kind of putting me in a box. And I noticed that I couldn't be myself around her. And that began to irritate me. And I realized this relationship is toxic. It is suffocating me. I can't deal with this jealousy. So I called it quits. So if you fellas or ladies are in a relationship where you can't be yourselves with your partner, if your partner doesn't give you a safe space to express yourself, you might want to not leave the relationship or But start considering communicating first and foremost, communicating with your partner that, hey, listen, I want to be able to feel like I can be myself with you. I want to be able to feel like I can be myself in this relationship and I have a safe place to express myself. Because the last thing you want to do is have a relationship where either one of you or both of you can't talk to each other, can't be yourselves around each other. That's just a recipe for disaster. Over time, eventually, one of you or both of you will just blow up on each other and it's going to result in something negative or even a breakup or a divorce. So talk to each other. Let each other know that, hey, these things matter for me. This is who I am in these ways, for example. Please accept me if you can. And if certain things are bad, then I'm willing to change them. And same goes for your partner. And I'll give you an example. For example, me, I can be really silly at home. I am forgetful sometimes when it comes to things that I don't think are important because my mind is always racing. I'm always focusing on business and things outside the house. But for my wife, things inside the house are more important. And she pays more attention to the important things. So sometimes when I get silly, when I don't pay attention to the things that matter to her, that bothers her. And of course, I need to pick up on those things better. And of course, communication is key. But at the end of the day, she knows that I am who I am, and she's not trying to change me. And I know that she is who she is, and I'm not trying to change you. For example, my wife is a little more artistic. My wife is a little messier than me, and I'm more organized than her. My wife is more empathetic than me, and she's a little wiser than me when it comes to empathy and sympathy for things. I am more numerical and organized and sort of a logical type of person. I'm a problem solver. So I don't bash on her for being the way she is, and she doesn't bash at me for being who I am. We just try to work with each other, and instead of suppressing each other's traits, we try to communicate about the things that bother us in each other and hype up the things that we appreciate in each other. And so far, that's been working for us. Number 2, which is very important, you got to respect your partner's boundaries. You have to establish boundaries in your relationship with your partner, with your loved one, and you got to respect your boundaries as well and your partner's boundaries as well. Because you need to create a safe and healthy environment inside your marriage, inside your relationship. If your partner has certain boundaries and she or he asks you not to cross them, then don't cross them or try not to cross them. Don't do things on purpose. Because, and I'll tell you guys, I've been guilty of that. I've had relationships where I've done things on purpose to piss my partner off. And that partner has done things on purpose to piss me off. And what was the end result? Argument. An argument. Always ended up in an argument. So why waste your time and energy trying to piss your partner off? Instead, you can discuss the certain boundaries that you prefer that your partner does not cross with you and vice versa. And that also stems to communication. So respect your partner's boundaries. Number 3 is simple, and that goes all the way to the Bible, and Lord talks about it. Serve your partner. Serve your partner. I heard this quote a long time ago. It said, a good relationship, or maybe even a perfect relationship, is a relationship where there's 2 people serving each other. They wake up every day looking for ways to serve each other. And if you think about it, that's an amazing relationship. That's an amazing relationship. Because relationship is not 50-50. Sometimes it's 90-10. Sometimes it's 70-30. Sometimes it's 70-30 the other way, or it's 50-50. For example, right now, my wife, she's on postpartum. She just had a baby a little over 3.5 weeks ago, and it's tough for her. It is tough for her. Fellas, let me tell you something. This is my first child. This is our first child, and I am learning as I'm growing. I might be good and confident in certain things, but hey, having a baby, having a child is a lot of things. And this really is testing us in our relationship, in our faith in God, in our faith in each other, in our communication, in our patience. It's really testing us. As a matter of fact, fellas, I just had a conversation with one of my boys, my boy Leighton Cook. He's got 3 kids, and oftentimes when I need an advice when it comes to being a father, although Leighton is younger than me, he's way wiser than me when it comes to being a father and a parent. So shout out to my boy Leighton. So me and him are going to record an episode dedicated to just fatherhood and what to do and what not to do when you're having your baby as a father. Kind of do's and don'ts and how to get through the whole postpartum period. So, going back to serving each other, like I said, we just had a baby, and my wife is not there completely. So she's recovering from a surgery. She's obviously dealing with the baby. The baby is brand new. The baby needs to eat every 2 3 hours. Sleep doesn't sleep as well as a grown adult does. So it's a lot of demand from my wife, and she's tired, and her body is not resting enough, and it's tough. It's tough, and it's tough for me as well. But I have to understand that, hey man, you need to be more patient. You need to step up even more now. And although like I try to do things around the house, I got businesses to run, I got employees to take care of, but most importantly, I have my own family to take care of. So for me, it's a reality check, and I need to adapt to that quick, and I need to be there for my wife, and I need to serve her for a period of time until she gets back on her feet and she can be back herself again. And is that easy? Absolutely freaking not, fellas. It's not easy, but is it worth it? It absolutely is. Because when I come home to my little baby girl, and I pick her up, man, everything is worth it. Those sleepless nights, the tiredness, the all of that is worth it. Because when I hold my little baby girl, and I just look at her eyes and I look at her smile, it is all worth it. So patience is being tested to the highest limits, and servitude to my partner has to increase right now. So in a relationship, try to be the type of person where you are a servant to your partner. So look for ways to serve your partner. Look for ways to do things, small things or big things. Not necessarily have to be always grandiose things. It's the small things that matter. It's the small things that matter in a relationship when it comes to your partner, especially for ladies. Like women love it when their men do small things for them. Like my wife is not materialistic, thank God, but she does appreciate it, and she loves when I go out of my way and I am conscious enough to do things for her on my own without her telling me things to do. So be a servant for your partner. The next point is participate in your partner's interests. It's simple. Participate in your partner's interest. And I'll give you guys an example. I love movies. I love going to movie theater. I've loved movies my entire life, and I just love movies. I love action movies. I love comedies. I love sometimes even horror movies, or sci-fi. I just love watching movies in movie theaters. My wife, not so much. First of all, my wife does not like horror movies. She's not like your regular chick. She does not like horror movies. So we don't watch horror movies. But she does go with me to movie theaters. As a matter of fact, she's bought me movie tickets before and gift cards to movie theaters before because she knows I enjoy that. Is that on top of her list of favorite things to do? No, and I know that. But she knows that I enjoy it, that I can appreciate carving out a couple hours, 2 3 hours to go get some popcorn and watch a movie. So she participates in those things with me. And in return, what do? I know she loves flower fields. So there's a few times that I've taken her out to flower fields or somewhere where there's flowers where she can be around and in the field with there's flowers, and she can enjoy that. Do I necessarily enjoy going to flower fields? No, and I'm being honest. But I know she does, and for her it's important. It's her way of recharging. So I participate in things that she enjoys doing, and that's what makes a successful and a happy and loving and prosperous relationship. Participate in each other's interests. Key point number 5. Simple but hard to understand sometimes, and I'm guilty of that as well. Number 5 is this: be intentional. Be intentional, fellas. And I know we struggle with that. If you're anything like me and your mind is always racing and you're constantly thinking about different things and business and this and that and payroll and how to close the sale, this deal, I'm not always present. I'm there, but mentally I may not be there. And there's many times where my wife has caught me being physically there but mentally not there. And so I realized over the years that to be a good partner, you don't have to do things necessarily. You don't have to problem solve. Especially, fellas, remember this. You don't have to always do things for your partner. You just got to be there. You just got to be present. You just got to give her time and attention in your soul, in your heart, and just be there. Be there for her. And it's tough. I'm going to be honest, it's tough. For me, it's tough because my mind is always racing. But hey, if you want your lady to be happy, you got to be there for her. You got to be intentional. You got to make the time and effort to find out what she likes. What is her love language? What are her struggles? What are her dreams, her goals, her aspirations? What are her traumas? What are her childhood experiences? What is it that she wants? What is it that she wants to talk to you about? What is it that's bothering her? And all that comes from communication, fellas. It's easy for us to come home, take off our shoes, grab a freaking remote control, watch TV, or grab a joystick and play PS5. Like all that shit I've done. And I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about because after a long day of work, the last thing I want to do is sometimes talk to somebody because I spend 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day sometimes even 18 hours a day just at work, at the office, grinding, talking to clients, customers, employees. And the last thing I want to do is go home and talk some more. But that's where your patience really is tested. That's where your relationship is really tested. And my advice to you fellas, you got to invest into that. To this day, I'm still working on myself. To this day, I still try to be intentional, especially now that I have a baby girl. I really am intentional. And a couple of times I know I had my baby in my hands and I had my phone. And I realized like, no, this is the time where this doesn't matter. I have this little tiny human being in my hand that's only a few weeks old, and she's never going to be a few weeks old again. Never. Like she's never going to be this tiny and precious and smelling and good smelling again. That time is limited. This can wait. Clients, employees, sales, projects, deals, all this shit can wait. But this little human that I created, that my wife and I created, she's only going to be this tiny and this precious for so long. So put my phone away and I am dedicated to her mentally, physically, spiritually. Like I am with her. I'm absorbing her energy. I am taking mental pictures of her and I'm savoring every precious moment that I have with my little baby girl for as long as I can because she's never going to be this tiny again. So being intentional is very, very, very important, fellas. Key point number 6. This was my favorite. Okay. People always say, well, find somebody to grow old together with. You know what? I call it bullshit. Find somebody to stay young with. Find somebody to remain kids with. Okay. Because you have to be playful. You have to be playful in your relationship. Because if you take yourself seriously in your relationship, if you constantly think you're just adult and adult things matter, man, screw all that crap. You got to be kids. In your relationship, you got to be kids. You got to be playful with each other. You got to be loving with each other. Just don't grow old together. Stay young together. Celebrate each other. Celebrate each other's wins. Talk about each other's losses and challenges. But be playful. You know, poke each other not in a bad way, but in a little sarcastic way where it's playful, where it's genuine, where it's loving, where it's not a form of attack, where it's more of a form of love and intimacy and empathy and just being there for each other. That's what matters. My wife and I are blessed with a great relationship. Well, we're both sarcastic. Sometimes I'm a little too sarcastic and does get on her nerves. So I have to tone it down a little bit, but we're always playful with each other. I always try to be genuine and playful and cuddly around her, and she does the same with me, and that is a blessing. That's a blessing because you want to go home. When you have a relationship like that, you want to go home after work. You want to go home after your trip. You want to spend time with your partner. You look forward to spend time with your partner and go home. Because that matters. You don't want to go home to a person who's just grumpy and nags and you just don't want to talk to her or deal with her or, you tolerate each other. That's a horrible freaking way of living life and having a relationship. No, you need to remain playful and loving with each other. And that so far has been working out quite well in my relationship. And I highly recommend to you, ladies and gentlemen, and to you fellas, since you guys are leaders of your households and leaders of your relationship, is to keep that momentum of playfulness and being playful with each other going. And like I promised you guys to save the best for last. This is number 7. This is a bonus. This is the one that I believe changed my relationship, mine and my wife's relationship, our marriage, okay? And some of you may not like it, but I'm going to say it because I don't care. And this is very important. You guys ready? Put God first. Put God first in your relationship. Your relationship is like a triangle, right? It's you, your wife, and God. And as you guys together see God, right? What happens? As you see God, as she sees God, you guys grow closer to each other as you guys see God. And the Bible talks about relationship. And if you read the Bible, you learn a lot in the Bible about the relationship. God tells you, gentlemen, God tells us how to treat our wives. God tells you that you need to treat your wife the same way Jesus treated. You need to love your wife the same way Jesus loved church. And there's certain things in the Bible that also tell men and women how to be in a relationship, and it tells women to submit to their husbands. There's a lot in the Bible about relationship and how to have a happy relationship. But putting God first is extremely important. It changed my relationship and my marriage for me and my wife. And I also know other couples, other married couples who have put God first in their relationship, and it fixed their relationship and their marriages and for the better. So put God first. It's that simple. Read the Bible, go to church together, study the Bible together, different chapters, listen to the podcast, discuss, talk about different chapters or verses or individuals in a chapter. My wife does that all the time. We talk about, we go to church together. We talk about the sermon. Every time we leave the church on a Sunday, we talk about, hey, what do you think about the sermon? What have you learned? What can you take for yourself? What could you relate to? Or if she reads something and she finds something in the Bible, she talks to me about it. She asks my opinion. Or if I find something, I send to her and I talk to her about that. There's so much in the Bible that you can learn and implement for your relationship for it to be better. It's amazing. It's amazing. All these gurus and people can talk about relationship and all that. And I often talk about relationship and what to do. But understand, guys, that at the end of the day, I am blessed and I am grateful to have the relationship that I have because of God. It's the Lord Jesus that gave me my relationship, that brought my wife into my life and brought me into her life and blessed us with the relationship that we have and the baby. So we are grateful for it. But it's because we decided to follow Him and study His Word and trust Him with our relationship. So, like I said, guys, those are the 7 key points that I wanted to discuss with you about having a good relationship. Allow your partner to be themselves, respect each other's boundaries, serve each other, wake up every day trying to serve each other, participate in each other's interests, be intentional, be playful, grow young, stay young together, and the most important one is put God first in your relationship. So that's all I got for you guys for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find something useful in this episode and implement it into your relationship. I truly hope I was able to bring value to you guys, because at the end of the day, what I do and what I hope for is to serve you guys just like I serve my wife. My intentions with this podcast, with every single episode, is to serve you, ladies and gentlemen. So if you find some value in this one, please click like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. God bless y'all.